welcome to the Knitting Den. This is episode number 185 and today is January 5th, 2014. No, it's January 5th, 2017. I don't know where that came from, 2014. My name's Denise and I am also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. This here, if you're watching for the first time, is Bindi, Little Miss Fluff, or Missy Moo, whatever you want to call her. Thank you for checking out the podcast, and I hope you enjoy it. Hope you like sitting down and listening to me chat on about knitting and just about everything else under the sun. If you haven't done so, I'd love for you to join the Ravelry group, which we do have. It's the Knitting Den podcast on Ravelry, of course. And I want to welcome back everyone else. Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you've all had a good start to the year. The first week's nearly over with. I did want to record on December 31st, and hence the reason I got my little crown already, but it didn't happen. Never mind. Such is life. But I'm here now. As I said, this is Little Miss Fluff, and I'm going to have to put her down in a minute because she's super heavy, believe it or not. Super heavy. She's only about £10, but my arm aches. All right, I am drinking. I'm actually having a cup of tea, but it's still out of the Keurig. I'm drinking some lemon zinger. Yeah, so it's a very chilly, and here we go with it. I'm going to have to put you down, little sweetheart, because this is what happens. I get hairs everywhere. It is a very, very cold day here today. It's about 1 degree right now, which is Fahrenheit. And after asking Google, that is apparently minus 17 Celsius. So super, super cold. And I'm looking out the window here. I'm going to turn you around in a little bit. I was going to have a little walk up the drive, but it's a little bit too cold to do that. We have snow this morning, or today, and I think it's still snowing a little bit, but barely noticeable. It's not like big fat flakes. But I'm going to turn you around so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm in the corner of my bedroom, as you can see. If you tuned in last episode, I was in the bedroom, and I'm here again now because hubby's off work today. So I like to just go somewhere secluded where they can't hear me yabbering on. It still sounds weird when I'm just sitting talking to a camera and they're in the house. Anyway, let me turn you around, which I'm actually going to stop the camera and flip it and be easier than swinging it around. So hold on a second. There we go. So that's what's right in front of me right now. And if I zoom in a little, maybe it'll... Oh, can I zoom in on this? Yeah, I can. So you can see it's very white sky. Yeah, I think you can just see a little bit of snow coming down. I did see it there and it stopped. Anyway, and I'm kind of sitting in the corner of my bedroom, so there's the other view. Oops, I should have, maybe it's not zoomed in so much. But anyway, so there we go. See if I can do that again. And maybe I'll edit it if it's going to make you too dizzy. Anyway. So yeah, it's a nice, I say nice because I'm in the house all warm. It's a nice chilly day. All right, let's get into the podcast. I've wrote notes, as I said last week, 31st of December. Where to start? I did want to kind of sum up the year, but there's not really much to sum up. I did find that list. Remember I said I was looking for the list where I'd kind of wanted to write down what I wanted to knit this year. I found it, and there wasn't really much on it, to be honest. And then I looked back in Ravelry to try and see, what had I knit last year. You don't half make me, you can see, look, she's just sitting. Yeah, I know. Oh. There wasn't much on that list, and to be honest, I didn't even knit much either. There wasn't much that I wanted to knit, I should say, and there wasn't much that I knit in 2016. In fact, I added them up, and I think I only knit 12 projects. Seriously, it's just pitiful, that pitiful. And if you've been watching some of the other podcasts that have kind of done a little year-end recap, and I'm kind of talking about you, Zena, from Little Yellow Uke, you put me to shame. Zena did 85 projects last year. I think that's the number I heard, if I heard correctly. 85 projects. I know she said some of them were small projects, but still, come on. If I did 85 dishcloths, that would still take me years. I just couldn't do it. I don't know how you guys, or you girls, knit so fast. I'm so envious. So, I want to make a concerted effort this year to knit lots of things, all the things. And so I will mention a couple of things, or I'll go through what I wrote down, and then I'll get into a couple of whips. I'm only knitting 2 things right now. I've got to do something about this. I want to knit and knit and knit and knit. I don't know. I think I need to cast on lots of things. And whether I get to knit on them every week, and now I'm watching the bits of snow flying past. Whether I get to knit on them, who knows? But I think I just want to knit. I just want to cast on a few more things in the next week. So, I do have a few things on the needles from last year. I don't even think I'll mention them because I didn't bring them with me. The couple of things that I wanted to get finished. I'm not even going to mention them. No, I'm not. Okay, remember that green, teal-coloured green iwi top, IWI from Barocco? I think I've got to try and finish that this year. I didn't bring it with me though. So, I did wonder, if you're knitting a ton of stuff, how many hours a day do you guys get to knit? And when I think about it, I think I might only knit an hour a day, if that. So I need to change that. But what I did have on my list, before I just waffle on way too much, that I want to try and knit next year, and it's not set in stone, but these are the couple of things, I wonder if I can show you them. That might make it a bit more interesting. And then I can just keep editing, couldn't I? All right, I'm going to have to put you down. Will you go down? Will you go down over there? Go on. Good girl. All right. Okay, let's have a look. I've got my Surface Pro here, so I thought I'd show you the pictures of a couple of things that I want to get on my needles this year. And I don't know when, and I don't even know if I've got the yarn for stuff right now. But I kind of written down hats, gloves, cowls, socks, toys, what else was there? Sweaters, shawls, and then I think I'm going to have to take this off. All right. And then kind of written underneath there a bit some of the things I'd like to knit. All right. Under the hats, all I've got right now, which I would really, really like to knit, is the barbel hat. Is that how you see it? Oh, and I'm going to try and get rid of the glare. Oh, can't really see, Wanda. Maybe it's, look at that. You can see the reflection of the camera. I'm trying to keep the glare off. It's not going to work, is it? No, maybe it's like that. too much glare. So I want to probably knit the barbel hat. I don't know why. I like it. I do like colour work, easy colour work. I don't have the yarn, I don't think, so unless there's a paid for pattern, but it's gonna go in my queue. That's all I've got under hats. Because I'm not desperate to knit certain items. Just that. Then I've got in cowls. I mean, there's tons of cowls I could knit, but this is what I've only put things that I've just thought about. Have you seen? Hang on, I've got this up and think. I've already started this and I didn't. Maybe I'll go grab it. Left over. Have you heard of? Oh, maybe you've even made it. The leftover cowl. Have you? It's by Wendy D. Johnson. It's a paid for pattern. I've got the pattern, and it's like it's one of these things that you can do with your sock yarn, I guess. That's why it's a leftover cowl. And again, it's colour work, and I think it's gorgeous. And I did start it. I'll just keep it back like that because there's too much glare if I come right up to the camera. So let me see if I can go grab it because I know it's just in my closet. Oops, hold on. It's actually in a bag that I've got all of the Knit Picks palette. I've got a ton of different colours. That's what I'm using. I'm not actually using leftover sock yarn. I'm using specific palette colours, and it's knit in the round. And I did get it started. And this is what I've got so far. Tons of ends, obviously. Now I haven't knit on this in the past year, maybe. Seems so. This is all I've got knit, and I'm thinking because it's I don't want to show too much, but it comes in a graph like that, and I could probably you see how this there's this width, then you kind of do a small, this one's a smaller width. I'm just thinking I might be able to set myself a task of doing something like this much per week, even if it just a little bit to add on to, otherwise it'll never grow. And like I said, I really love it, and I've got this whole bag of Knit Picks. So for cowl, I actually just put that back in my queue to remind me that I would like to work on that. What are you doing under the desk, Missy? Sniffing at my yarn. So that's all I've got for cowls. I don't have anything in gloves yet. To be honest, I don't wear a ton of them. Where did we go? What else have I got? Well, socks, I'm wondering whether to try and do a pair of socks every month like a lot of you guys do. I've seen a lot of them, and so when you knit a pair of socks every month, do you just keep them and not wear them until the end of the year so that you've got 12 pair of brand new socks? Because all of your socks look brand new when you've shown them on Instagram or on your podcasts. But I'm not saying I'm going to knit a pair of socks every month. I'm just thinking like it would be nice. I haven't listed what patterns I want. I've got a few on the needles. I've got Hermione. I've got my Christmas Eve cast on going right now. Thinking of casting on another easy pair, like have a vanilla pair on the needles, which is just easy to pick up all the time. Toys. I've got toys down because even though I don't knit many of them, I would like, there's certain ones I've had in that I've got the patterns for, I should say. Let's see if I can bring them up. And I'm just thinking I should make the effort to actually knit them this year. And again, it's not set in stone. These are just ideas, or it's just something I should, if I'm going to knit a toy kind of thing, it should be this. One of them that I've just always wanted to knit, I do have the pattern as well. I think I bought the pattern and I never just got round to it. And I've got lots of wonderful yarn I could use from Dancing Dog Dye Works. And I want to knit Noodle, which is a Susan Claudino toy pattern. He's just the cutest thing ever. And I've always wanted to knit him and never got round to it. So I think I should make the effort. Oh, it's twisted around, gone sideways. So there's that. Then the other toy I've already got the pattern for. And again, I think I've got some yarn in mind. And I've got to get that. I've just never cast on. And this is something else I just would like to think I should do. Where is he? Here he is. It's from Susan Hickson, Mary Jane's Tea Room. I have the pattern that I bought probably a couple of years ago now for Romeo Bear. See if I can keep off the glare. And I just think he's so adorable. All of her patterns are absolutely gorgeous. I can't look at them because I just want to knit them all. And I'm not really a toy knitter, so it's just, I think it's just a lot of the time it's her photographs of them as well. You know, the pictures are just adorable. So he's on my list. I'm wondering if I should try and get him on my needles. Then I've got another one which was gifted to me, this pattern, and it again is by Susan, Mary Jane is Tea Room. I have to keep bringing up the thing. And it's the little mice, you know, the winter mice, I think it's called. I was gifted this a year or so ago. Never got it on the needles. Come on, load. Why has she stopped loading? There we go. And let me just show, maybe it's a bigger, there you go. If I bring these pictures up to see. Oh, the glare, it's terrible. So, that adorable, I'd have to, don't you dare bark, no, don't bark. No, thank you. Can you see him? Don't, Bindi, no. I don't even know what you hear. Don't bark. Staring at me like, what? Anyway, so that is another toy. And one more that I've always wanted to knit. And again, I think I have the pattern. I don't know why I've always wanted to knit. I just think it just looks so fun. And I've often wanted to knit it. And actually, every time I think about knitting it, I thought about sending it to my brother at Christmas time. I don't know why. But I've always wanted to knit one of these Alan Dart gnomes. Have you knit one? Have you ever knit one? Let me know if you've knit one. Is it easy? Would you recommend it? I just think they look so fun with the, you know, the beard and the big nose sticking out. It's just... So that is in my queue to do as well. Like I said, I'm not a toy knitter, so who knows. Now, moving on to sweaters. This is what I've got. Well, I've got that iwi. So let me, iwi. I don't know, what a name. But it's in a Barocco book I've got, and I'm nearly finished. I think I'm on to the last sleeve. Or have I even started the sleeves? I'm sure I'm not far off finishing, I'm sure. Unless I've just got the 2 sleeves. But it's this, let me bring up the big picture. It's this pattern. You remember this? And I'm doing it in like a teal colour. I'll probably give you an update on the next podcast. How many? There's only 20 projects up here on this thing. There's some, I don't know whose that is. I just clicked on it because it looks nice in that colour as well. Mine's like an in-betweeny colour. Mine's the teal. Actually, is that mine? No. But mine is this colour, which somebody else is knitting as well. in that teal. I hope the glare's not too bad when I'm showing you these pictures. So I really need to think about getting that finished. And the other pattern that I haven't shown you this before, but I did find this a few weeks ago, and I actually got the yarn. I just got some acrylic because you know how I am with wearing wool sweaters. I did buy some acrylic for this, and believe it or not, I cast on this a few weeks back, but it was when I wasn't recording, and it's not knit in the round, it was knit flat, the back and the front, and I started knitting the front, and it's colour work, and it just wasn't working because I don't like doing purl with the colour work. So I'm thinking of casting it back on. I pulled it out, only got a few inches. I'm thinking of pulling it, well, I have pulled it out. I'm thinking of casting on again and knitting it in the round. And if you were listening last week, you'll know why I squealed with excitement when I saw that robin sweater. Is that not just adorable? And it was just Karen Simply Soft I bought from Michael's. I got the blue's very similar. I got white and then the brown and the red. But I think I'm going to knit it in the round. And that'll make it a little bit bigger if I don't adjust the size. Because obviously when you're doing a back and a front and you've got a seam, it's going to turn out smaller because they'll take into account the seaming. But I don't mind. I think I'd like it nice, big and baggy, and like a cosy sweater just to be in on days like this. So that's on my list. I'll see whether or not I get that on the needles this winter. I'd like to. Moving on, I think really that's most, shawls. I haven't got any pictures of shawls. I haven't written anything down, but I've got two and they're with me right now. So I'll go into that when I talk to you about whips. I've got two that I'd like to start. What you doing, Bindi? Hang on a minute, I don't know where she went. So that's all I've got written down, kind of what I'd like to think of getting on the needles. There's not a ton, but with that, let's move into knitting. And it is snowing a little bit again, so I think we're going to still get a few more inches. It said we're forecast for about 8 to 10 inches today. I don't know if that's going to happen. We've already got at least 5, I think. But before we move on, one of the things I forgot to talk about or show you a couple of weeks ago, I think I'm going to try and insert a video because I didn't put it in at the beginning. I'll try and insert a little video here of what we did a few weeks ago. And if you're on Instagram, you might have seen a picture. I'm not sure if I put a video on there, if I just popped a picture on. But this is what we did, excuse me, a couple of weeks ago. Miss the heat.
I got Vader. Good boy, Tank.
Say hi. We went dog sledding. Wasn't that? How fun was that? That's a first, probably a last as well, to be honest. But we went up to Breckenridge, which is a couple of hours away from us in Denver, and we took Kristen dog sledding. It was something she'd wanted to do, so we did it as a big birthday treat for her 16th birthday, which was the day after Thanksgiving this year. But they didn't open for the season until about December 10th, I think it was. So we went, I think it was the 13th. So just a week or so, a couple of weeks before Christmas, or 10 days before Christmas then. So yeah, that was super fun, but I forgot to mention it in the last time I recorded. So with that out of the way, let's move into finished objects. Or not, because we don't have any. So let's move into works in progress. All right, I am actually working on things. I've been trying to knit every minute I sit down with that in mind, that the fact that I only got 12 items or projects finished last year. Not even finished, I think I just cast on 12. Shameful. It's just shameful. Anyway, moving on. I did work on a bit of, and I'm getting there, I'm seeing the end, my Hermione's Everyday Socks. I did get one finished, which you saw. And this is in my Miss Potter colourway from Desert Vista Dye Works. And it's little, not quite Hermione's Everyday Socks, because I messed up the four row pattern a little. Everything else I followed. And I've been knitting like crazy on the second one, and I'm just about started. I've got like 2 rows of the gusset, or the heel flap I should say. I'm just starting the heel flap. I think that's about right. So I'm going like crazy. Every time I sit down, I'm working on this and trying to get it finished. This is in my Winnie the Pooh bag. I'm going to try and keep everything in its own bag until it's finished. So this is my favourite little sock bag. I just use this all the time. And I made this one, it's one of my first. And it's just got silky ribbon. And I just like it because it shuts and slides open so easily. And it's just great. I just pull it closed, grab it and throw it. It doesn't even need other handles on it. I throw it in another bag, or I throw it in the basket down beside the sofa where I sit. So I've got everything in here, and oh, so proud, so proud. Look what I found. I found the label. Actually found my label from Susan. Where did I find it? Forgot now. Oh, I think it was in a basket with all my stickers and planner stuff that I'd been looking through. So it is just superwash merino and nylon 75/25 Viso. I guess that's her base Viso sock yarn, sock weight, and the colourway was Miss Potter. Looks like it's Mrs, but I think it's Miss. Self-striping, and I think I mentioned before, if you hadn't heard when I mentioned it, I actually won this in Susan's monthly giveaway that she has, where she asks you to pick colourways based on a certain theme. Now, I was looking at her Ravelry group the other day, and her 2017 theme, which she's already done January and I missed, is movies. And I don't know what the January one was, but you have until the 10th of each month. Let's see, the 10th of the month to get your, entry in on her group. So the 10th for, is it the 10th? No, it's January. I forgot now, but I'm sure I'd passed the January one. I think you've got till the 10th of January to get your February's entries in, is the way I think it's worked. Because then she has until the 18th when she decides which ones are going to, she's going to dye up colourway, which one she chooses. I don't know if she chooses at least, I want to say at least 6. There's quite a few different colourways that she chooses. Anyway, back in, I don't know if it was August or before I went to England, I put on a book. She was doing book series last year, and it was Beatrix Potter, and I was going to Beatrix Potter's attraction in the Lake District in England when I was headed home in September. So the colours on the book were this yellow and mauve and very light violet-y grey kind of colour. So that's where that comes from, and that's why she named it Miss Potter. So I'm just super thrilled with that. I'm knitting this on, and I mentioned these before, I'm knitting these on my Chow Goos, which, I've got to say, I really, really like. They're nice and pointy, and I did think this was rather thick to start with in the beginning. And somebody mentioned that the reason that it's thick, I know it's going to be looking blurred, The reason it's thick is because it's got a wire inside, so it's like it's got no memory. You see how nice and, you know, it doesn't curl and twist or anything. So it's really nice, and I'm liking it. In fact, I think I need to get another one. So I usually do my socks on just my Knit Picks size ones, and I've got two, maybe it's got more than two pair, but I have two size ones, the US ones, which I think is a 2.25 mil. And that means I can sometimes cast on both socks at the same time instead of two at a time on one needle. I haven't done it. Well, I've only got one of these, but I have done it in the past. I don't do it all the time on socks, but I'd like to. If I get another one of these, I will do what I'm hoping to do with socks in future, is cast on both and get the rib done or get the toe done, depending if it's toe or top down, and then carry on with one until it's finished. But the other one's already on the needles, which somebody suggested, and I have done it in the past, and it is the way to go, to be honest, so that you don't get that second sock syndrome. But so those are my Hermione's. Hoping I might be able to finish them in a week if I can just sit and knit on them. What is making me not knit on them, excuse me while I bend down, is these, which is the mittens for the Never Not Knitting winter swap. Mentioned this before. I have got the book with me, and it's in the Botanical Knits book, which I went through the other week, and they are, I'll show you a quick picture, spring foliage. They're these fingerless mittens, and this, I'll not go into a lot of detail. It's just it's a swap with the Never Not Knitting group on Ravelry. I've got hairs and bindies, fluff everywhere, and I'm happy to say I'm nearly there. I've just got the thumbs to do. I've been picking these up a lot as well. They need a nice blocking, and they're not autumnal colours, and I've got all the ends to fit, you know, put in, but it's hard to show now, isn't it? No, I don't want it. Ooh, there. It's got the leaf pattern comes up the side here, and the last leaf will be the thumb. Sorry, I don't want to swing you all over, but both of the mittens are the same. It's not left or right. You can wear them, you know, like that. It's hard to see the pattern though. Look, it matches my nails. So I'm really happy that these are nearly done. I need to finish these in the next couple of days. I'm knitting it. This is the second ball. I've got the band. It's Manos Silk Blend. I have to be honest, I've knit with this before. I've knit a scarf and some mittens before, but I don't know, I'm not liking it this time. It's a little bit brighter than it actually is. It's because of the light, the daylight, or the bright white sky. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like salmony pink rose colour. It never has a colourway on here. It's just a number, I think. But the Manos Silk Blend is 30% silk and 70% merino, and it's a single ply. And I mentioned this before. It's very sticky. It just sticks to itself. And when I wound this one on the Swift yesterday, even where they'd knotted it was very difficult. You cut the knot and it kind of got stuck on itself. I nearly thought I wasn't going to get it out, but I haven't enjoyed knitting with this yarn, so I do have another couple of skeins of a different colour in my stash. I don't know if it's because of what I'm knitting, or I don't know. I don't know if it's because I have to knit them that I've not enjoyed it. I don't know. It's a combination of both. I don't think I'm a great fan of single ply yarn. So Anyway, that is in my Knitting's My Bag bag. So keeping everything in bags. Got to keep them all in the same bag until they're finished. Now, let's have a look. What else did I pick? What did I put in here? I put something in here last night. Oh, yes. So, this is another work in progress. I didn't have it written down. That I started the other week and I haven't knit on it because I've been trying to get those mittens done and I've been working on socks. And this was that Nurmalin too. Haven't done anything with it. I think this is something I should be able to pick up once those mittens are done, in between socks as well. And start making headway on this because it doesn't normally take long. This is a free pattern. I only printed out the black and white bits. Oh no, it's colour, but I didn't print the first page. Hang on a minute, it's got a phone call coming in. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but I turned it off. Don't recognise the number. This is called Nurmalin 2. It's a free pattern on Ravelry for a shawlette kind of scarf thing. There it is. There's a full picture of it. This is the fourth one I've knit, and the reason I'm knitting it in this yarn is because this was one of the yarns, one of my first skeins I dyed myself. So not much progress. I've put it in this little bag because this is a bag I made myself as well. Oh, made myself. I made a lot of these for my Etsy shop, but this is the one. This was the prototype kind of thing, and I kept it. So because it's my dyed yarn, I put it in my handmade bag. So that's not had any work on, but it's going to be one of those that I need to start working on as a current work in progress. I don't have a ball band for that because it's my own yarn and I haven't printed any yet. It's just a fingering, 75-25 merino nylon blend. And then got a little bit, why is it saying maximum recording? I shouldn't. I've added extra space on this camera, so if it cuts off, I'll be annoyed. I bought extra storage space on it. My Christmas Eve cast on socks. I got a few rows done again, but not much. So this was it. I am doing, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see the pattern on this, but I'm doing it anyway. This is called I Heart Bees, and it's going to be hard to see the honeycomb kind of pattern on it, I think. But it's nice to do. I mean, I can kind of see it a bit. I think just obviously with the colourway that I've done, it probably lends itself better to a tonal or semi-solid kind of colour. But this is again something I dyed myself for this particular project, which is I call this Christmas Pudding. This is my Christmas Pudding colourway for Little Bobbin's Christmas Eve cast on, and I decided to sew myself a Christmas pudding bag to go with it. So that is going on. Again, I don't have a label because it's my own yarn, and it's again just the fingering weight nylon. The pattern, I Heart Bees, is a free pattern on Ravelry. I've got it printed out here, but it's not. I don't bother printing the first page out with a picture, so it's nothing really to show. But I haven't done much on that because I really do want to concentrate on the mittens and the Hermione socks to try and get them off the needles first. And I've got one more thing that I did put in another one of my bags. Oh, I'm using all of my own bags this time, aren't I? I've just put this in here, so I'm trying to keep everything in its bag. This was, I did print the pattern out ready to get into as well once those socks and mittens are off the needles. This was that Aisling, or Ashling, somebody said you pronounce it Ashling. And I don't know what happened when I printed this, but it seems to have printed weird where part of the page is printed out wrong. And maybe I've got maybe I had it, the paper or the thing. I think I've got it landscape. I think that's what's happened because it's kind of cut off all of the edges. So I'll have to reprint that. It's a paid pattern and it was gifted to me recently and I just loved it. And this colourway, this pink, kind of reminded me of this that I have in stash. So I decided I would cast on with it. And I cast on, but then I never got anything else done because, again, I had to start on those mittens. So barely anything on that, so I'll mixed up. But I'm going to wind this on. In fact, I think I stopped because I think I might straight away have to go into this colour. That looks a very bluey grey. It's not as bluey purple grey there. It almost looks like a violet-y colour. To me, it's like a grey, more like a bluey grey. It's got different tonal colours there, but you don't notice it as much on the other side. Anyway, it's completely different colour to what I'm seeing. But anyway, I thought they'd go together and I want to get a good start on that as well. That'll be next. I don't really have any other shawls in the list, but I'm thinking I might like to make more shawls in 2017 more shawls than what's the word? Garments. You know, maybe concentrate on socks and shawls. That way I don't have to stress about anything fitting so much. I don't know. All right. Let's move into, I was going to say show and tell. Show and tell. I decided to pull out, well, I did actually. I've got this yarn and I do have the label. It's on the top of the stairs because I need to put it in a bag. I put a picture of this on Instagram yesterday because I was watching a New to Me podcast and it's called Loop and Bar. And I've totally forgot your name, sorry. Is it Kate? Or Katie? I know your dog's Charlie. Anyway, I was watching her lovely podcast. She's in England and she showed, she was distracted a bit like me with the snow, but she was distracted by the bird on the window bird feeder that she had. And so she flipped the camera around and showed us, and it was a little blue tit. And it just so happened I had this yarn sitting next to me on the sofa. I'd picked it up the other day and thought, as you can see, I cast on, well, I guess it was over a year ago now. I got this in England and I cast on, but I was using, it was coming out too big, and I think it was because I was using the 2.5 millimeter, my rocket turbo sock rockets or something like that. It's the needles I just used for my hubby's socks, which was great because they came out a little larger and they fit perfect. But for me, I think it was coming out a little bit too big, so I pulled it. Anyway, I was thinking of casting on something like this for, like I said, vanilla socks, just to be able to pick up and not have to worry about a pattern or where I'm at. So that's going to go in a bag pretty soon. And I might cast on some toe-up socks. I haven't done toe-up for a little while. But I just thought that was funny because it was sitting next to me on the sofa, and then, I'm saying Kate. I'll say Loop and Bar. She had the little blue tit on the window of the bird feeder. It was so cute to watch. I wouldn't mind one of them, but I don't have a window. I might be able to put one up here. I don't have a window down in the living room, dining room area that I sit at where I can see the birds. I'd have to stand there, and I think if you stood there and made movement, you might scare them off all the time. But it was so nice to see. Anyway, so show and tell. I haven't bought yarn in a long time, I don't think. I feel like I haven't. But what I decided to do is I've pulled out a couple of old ones from stash that I really would like to wind up. I don't know what I'll knit with them yet, but I'd like to think about something to knit with them. Again, probably shawls. But I picked out two of my favourites from my stash. And they actually both buy Never Enough Time. I bought a few years ago, and the girls first started, I think it's Jamie and Katie, mother and daughter. They both started their Etsy shop. And this one is, they actually dyed this for me when I did my very first kit, my Etsy shop bag kit. It was with gnomes on, it was pink, and they named this Gnomes in the Garden. And I did actually keep this. Sometimes I forget to keep myself a skein when I've done bag kits, so I don't have a skein of every bag kit that I did. I've kept this one and I've not cast on yet, and I want to. It's gorgeous. And what you can't see under the label here has got roses and green as well as the pinks, you know, and the yellow flowers. And I just love it. I love it. So it's, again, it's a merino nylon 75-25 blend, and it's 463 yards. And I'm sure these lovely ladies are still on Etsy. Never Enough Time, spelt like the herb, T-H-Y-M-E. So I want to wind that up. I need to wind up some yarn because that's what puts me off. If I want to knit something and it's still in a skein like this, it puts me off. I don't like to, and I don't like winding the yarn. So I should wind it and then know it's maybe, you know, it's easier to go and pick up. The other one I bought was just one of the colorways I loved when I first saw it on their site. This is called a Brambleberry, and this is actually a merino bamboo nylon blend, 60-30-10. It's got a little bit of a halo, and I don't know if that's because of me handling it on or not, but it's really nice and soft. Again, I just love this reminds me of garden as well. It's just the flowers with the green and then the dusky rose colour and then the mauve. So I want to put, I want to skein that up, and I don't know what I'm going to knit with it, but I'd like to think of some kind of shawl. And they might end up gifts, I don't know. I just want to get all the things on the needles. I don't know. All right, moving on from show and tell, sort of. Book talk, just a little bit of book talk. And I haven't drank much of my tea and it's gone freezing cold, so I'm not even gonna. I'll have to put ice in it. I'd rather have it icy cold or hot. I can't drink tepid tea of any kind, or a coffee for that matter. Okay, book talk. I know I mentioned the Whole 30 last week, or the last time I recorded. And this Monday, excuse me, I am going to have a drink. Gone dry. This Monday, hubby and I decided to start the Whole 30. And I'll make this quick. It went really well. The first day we ate great. We ate on plan. But I don't know what happened. Monday night, hubby didn't feel too great. He had a bit of a stomach issue. And I thought that was strange. But what was even stranger is I went to sleep and I woke up in the middle of the night with the stomach issue 10 times worse. And I was absolutely sick as a dog, vomiting, and both ends for TMI. And I think something had to do with the fact, something obviously upset our stomach, but I think what made it worse for me was I had taken a Mucinex pill, because I get a lot of congestion and I get my sinuses, everything kind of gets thickened up. And I'd taken a Mucinex pill, and you are supposed to drink a lot of water when you swallow the pill, and I don't think I'd swallowed enough water. And that has in the past, one time before, upset my stomach. Just kind of upset my stomach for a few hours, and I drank water and I was okay. So something had happened where it was on top of maybe an upset stomach because he had something as well. It was one of the worst nights of my life. So that's all I'm going to say about it, but sad to say, the next day I couldn't stick to the plan. I had to have crackers and water, because that's just about all I could put on my stomach. And I haven't, it's only today that I felt a bit okay. Yesterday I was still a bit off. So for now, Whole30 is kind of not happening. We're still trying to get back into eating healthy. That's not right, is it? Eating healthy. Oh my gosh, I think it's about time I wrap this up. I'm trying to get back into healthy eating, but I just don't think we can cut everything out that we were trying to cut out. There's certain times I need carbs, and I need a slice of toast when things like that happen, obviously. But with saying that, I thought I'd show you this book, because I bought this a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago actually, before, again, while I wasn't podcasting, so I haven't showed you it. And I like to read through it, and this is just another route. This is another route you could go if you're not wanting to do Whole30, but if you're trying to get off processed food and you're trying to quit sugar mainly, it's called I Quit Sugar. And I can't remember where I saw this, but I picked it up one day. I don't know if it was in Walmart or Target. It might have been Target. It wasn't off Amazon, I don't think. But it's a nice glossy book, and what I liked about it was there's a lot of, let's see if I can flick through, in the front before the recipes, there's a lot of talking about what to do in an 8-week, I think it's an 8-week plan, of how to start really cutting down the sugar. So it gives you lots of information about, so let's have a look, so it's got week 1, it gives you step by step, like start to cut back. You don't just kind of go all cold turkey. She gives you advice on what to do, what to have, like eggs on toast instead of granola and low-fat yogurt, herbal teas, toast with avocado slices instead of toast with jam, things like that. And then she just gives you a little bit more information about sugar and how, the poison that it is. And then she moves into things to do. Then she's got week 2. Week 3 is actually quit. So it's just very informative reading, and very interesting reading before you get to, it goes all the way through, like I said, to week 8. Week 6, add some sweetness back in, which would be, obviously she's not talking about sugar, she's talking about a bit of fruit. I'm not sure if she says things like honey and maple syrup with them being more natural. She does have some sweet recipes, but I think it's natural sugars, natural sweeteners. And then getting equipped, things that you need, basic equipment. And then it's obviously, the rest of the book is recipes. So there's quite a few nice recipes. And I think I'm going to kind of focus on this a little bit, because she's got spiced pumpkin butter and pecans. She's got crepes. She's got carbs. I don't know if that's going to cut out. This is going to cut out again, even though I actually deleted everything. It's annoying. So I'm going to start reading through that a little bit more as well. I still like the Whole30 books. I like the Whole30 cookbook. I'm just not going to go all hardcore this month like I did. I do plan on cutting out wine. I don't need to have a glass of wine. I'm going to just have a nice, it's just not necessary. I don't drink a lot of wine. I'll have it with my friend if I go out socialising, or if I pop up to hers, we'll have a glass of wine together. But I think I'll just cut out the wine this month, cut right back on processed food, cut out sugar, maybe still have honey or a bit of maple syrup if I need it. But anyway, that's all I'm going to show in the book talk. I'm going to move right into, and I really hope this doesn't keep cutting off. I was going to just briefly talk about, in girly chatter, I guess you could call it, my Instant Pot. I made a chicken. I mentioned this in the last episode. I was going to start. I was a little bit nervous about using it, but I did a whole chicken, and it turned out great. The only thing I can say, I mean, I'll keep telling you, you know, if I've made things. I also made some soup this week. It did seem a little bit intimidating when I unboxed it and I looked at it. And the thing is, if you've got one, and I know a few of you have, some of you have had it in a few weeks or a few months and you're not took it out of the box. And all I can say really is, don't be afraid of it. If you're not sure, then get online. Instagram is what I was, not Instagram, sorry. YouTube is what I was looking at. There's some great videos. Just watch YouTube videos. And, you know, people, just everyday girls in their kitchen will show you how they've done it, what they do, how they do a chicken, how they've made meat sauce or spaghetti kind of sauces, and soups and yogurts. I haven't done yogurt yet because Whole30 tells you to cut out the dairy, but I really do like Greek yogurt, so I might try and make myself some. Excuse me. The book that came with mine, I wasn't really impressed with any of the recipes in it. It's just, there's nothing in there flicking through that I would want to make. So I highly recommend that you would look on, again, on YouTube or online anywhere, Pinterest, Instagram, for Instant Pot recipes. And I think you'll have a lot better selection than what came in the book if you're opening your package up and you're looking at your book. I think that's all I want to say about that for this week. I don't want to waffle on too much. I want to get this finished, and I want to make some lunch, maybe heat up some of the soup. I actually did the zuppa toscana, the copycat Olive Garden recipe, and I'm watching this seconds, and if that gets to 3:45 and then cuts off, I'm going to be mad. But I want to kind of have some lunch and get knitting because it's just that kind of a day. So I'll wait and see if this is going to cut off, and if it is going to cut off because it's flashing. I don't know why. It cut off there, and it's now telling me I've got another 3 minutes I can go. It's annoying because I did buy more storage like hubby told me to do on my cloud. But anyway, I'll have to talk to him about that later. I'll wrap this up then and just wish you all, again, I hope you're having a great start to the year, and I hope you all have a wonderful year to come. I hope you have blessed with good health and happiness for each and every one of you. And I would like to say thank you to you all for just being there as friends in the past year. When I've gone through, a little a lot of heartache, I guess. But I'm here for you guys too as a friend. Shoot me an email or a PM anytime you want if you need to have a friend to chat to. I am always here for you personally. I consider each and every one of you that watches me or sits down and lets me chat to you, I consider you a really close friend. I hope you know that. So, as I said, get in touch if you ever want to. With that, I'll just wish you again a wonderful new year, and I hope you all have a great week. I do want to try and get back to recording on Mondays. That's my plan. So, it might be, obviously it's Thursday now, it's going to be just over a week, I think, and I'll plan and get organised for a Monday recording. Wish me luck. And by which time I should have some perhaps finished objects to share with you. Have a fabulous week, everyone, and I hope you come back soon and join me here or downstairs. I won't be on the porch, in the knitting den somewhere in the house soon. Bye, guys.